When taken care of, the mind can be a very wonderful thing. But in some cases, the mind gets too far and cracks. What's up everybody, StevDeS here, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 video game psychopaths. The rules are just like the last one per franchise, and this is a biased list based on the games and psychopaths that I've experienced. Remember, if you disagree with anything on this list or want to suggest a psychopath of your own, do leave a comment below. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the top 10 video game psychopaths. But first, let's look at the psychopaths that are either too good or just didn't quite make the list.
Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. Kratos from God of War. That thing. Jack! Your new best frenemy? Joker from Arkham Asylum. Makarov from the Modern Warfare series. The Medic from Team Fortress 2. Clockwork from Sly Cooper. Richtofen from World at War. The St. John family from The Walking Dead. Kefka from one of the Final Fantasy games, I don't know. Tannis. Dr. Nitrous Brio. That thing! Dr. Hojo from Final Fantasy VII.
Listen, Candy Pants, we can make you open that goddamn door.
Really? How about now? Ding dong! Ding dong! Dinner served! Come and get it!
If we live through this, I'm gonna freaking kill that guy.
I can't wait to butcher all of you!
Starting off this list is my iteration of Durgan C. Mikado's head of his task force, Mugen Tzu. This guy is a cybernetically enhanced ninja who, at the cost of his sanity, had increased strength, speed, and durability. Why does it sound like death battling here? This guy's nuts, alright? You end up fighting him 3 times throughout the story. The first time is just in his base form, where he's happy to kill you on behalf of the Mikado Company. The second time, he is pissed at you, and he removes his head where what's covering his eyes in order to properly see and kill you. And the third time, he jumps off of a rocket ship just to get on your carrier and try to kill you. He completely removes his mask, which, let's go ahead and draw his mask on so you know exactly how much was covered. Yeah, this is my iteration of what his mask looked like, but seriously, he's one hell of a psychopath. He has lost his mind by the time you fight him the third time, and all he wants is to tear you apart. Putting him at a pretty modest start to this list, since The Bouncer is a not exactly good game. Well, it's a beloved game for me, but it's more of a cult classic nowadays. And to all the anime fans, sorry this wasn't Mugetsu from Bleach. I don't even know who that guy is. I just saw Mugetsu Bleach while I was looking up this guy. Oh, I'm on this side for this one. Alright, number 9, Ripperoo. What else can I say? The guy talks in high pitch. That's literally his language. You can't understand him outside of that. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure Ripperoo's the character that kind of introduced a lot of kids to the concept of the straitjacket. Not only does he wear a straitjacket and try to kill Crash, but he falls for some pretty easy stuff. The guy apparently likes explosives though, and he's very much insane, to the point that he deserves a spot on this psychopaths list.
I could sense where she was. Her fear. It was so ripe. This would be fun.
Now we're getting into the homicidal ones. Marcus Needles Kane, aka the driver of Sweet Tooth, from Twisted Metal. This man had one goal for the Twisted Metal tournament, and that was to find his daughter, who was still alive, as far as he knew, just so he could murder her. Yeah, he's got kind of a love for murder. Yeah, lots of killing going on with this guy. Not only that, but I did not draw that wrong. That is the legitimate, the fires of hell burning off of his head eternally. That's his punishment. What can I say other than homicidal clowns? That's gonna be a regular thing for a lot of psychopath lists. Don't even get me started about later on.
I test you, little moth.
Number 7 is an artiste. One who beyond all sanity believes in the arts at the expense of his subjects. Sander Cohen was a breath of fresh air when it came down to exploring the craziness that is Rapture. In BioShock, Sander Cohen didn't want to kill you, he just wanted you to kill a select number of people, which you've already done plenty of by this point. Seriously, the amount of bodies on your person when it came down to meeting him, you're not a stranger to this stuff. It's more along the lines of kill or be killed. That's where Sander Cohen comes around, and he wants you to take pictures of certain people after you kill them, and then finish his masterpiece. After his masterpiece is finished, he just lets you go. He just lets you go. I mean, it's your choice to kill him in order to get those extra goodies, but when I played, I left him alive. It's a clear example on how to do a psychopath just right. Not the kind where you just want to kill him and be done with him, but this is more along the lines of a psychopath I wouldn't mind hanging out with and making more masterpieces with.
Maria. Baby, I'm sorry I couldn't bring you home. But you're with the kids now. That's home, yeah? I'll see you all again one day. Look, Marcus is busy saving the world again, so I gotta be there for him. Sleep tight, sweetheart.
Dang, I did well. That's a really good picture. In honesty, I didn't want to draw Dominic. I respect the character way too much to want to butcher it on a whiteboard. So, when it comes down to Dominic Santiago, hell, we get to see him through every stage. He loses his mind right at the end after he visits the grave of his wife. And his hopes of finding his kids are zip, none. There's no way they survived. It's a really, really tragic end to someone we learned to love throughout the Gears series. And then when Gears 4 came around, it's like, yeah, it's not really much. I mean, nobody really talks about Dom.
Dom! No!
But Dominic Santiago, he's been able to stay in our hearts long enough, but he's still a psychopath. He still lost his mind. He still went over the deep end to kill a bunch of locusts. And killing is a regular thing in the COG.
Marcus! He's gone! He's gone! There's nothing you can do! Stop
Get
it!
off me! God damn it! Let me get him out of there!
However you want to see it, Dominic is one of the psychopaths that we all love. And God rest him. Yeah, I'm going to stay off camera for this one. All the Dead Rising psychopaths. They have freaking psychopath in the title, and they all have a reason for going nuts. The only thing I really have to say about this list is, well, the Dead Rising 4 psychopaths, they're not very creative. You have some creative names like James Caballero and Tom Picton You also have Sandra Fontana, Calder, which is just the last name of the soldier that turned into a psycho zombie. But then you have Scare King, Sadistic Claws, Captain Black Friday Beard. I'm sorry, but there's a reason why Dead Rising 4 lost in the end. And I think Psychopaths was one of the reasons. Oh shoot, I hit the camera. I put him there. He's on this side. He's right there, under the convicts, above Cliff Hudson. He's there. Shut up, comments. You'll like this one. We're getting into the truly insane people now. So hang in there, because I think my mind's starting to get a little warped. This guy is obsessed with explosives. Let me tell you, Junkrat and explosives go as well as Roadhog and Fat. It's not an insult. Roadhog main. Junkrat is also known as Jameson Fox. What can I say about him? He's just insane. He loves what he does, and he loves explosives, so explosives is what he does. There's really not much to say about Junkrat. I'm sure everybody who's played Overwatch is more than likely familiar with that annoying cackling and that ever so pleasant announcement of... Oh jeez, I gotta get out of here. This is why Junkrat gets number 4 on this list, because he's just the right kind of insane that everybody can get a hold of.
Chaos, chaos. I can do anything.
Number 3 is definitely Jebel from Deltarune. Now, I know that there is kind of a, there's a pattern brewing in these top 10 lists where I'm introducing Deltarune and Undertale characters to the list, and there are crazier characters in the lore of Deltarune, but when it comes down to the lore that Chris created, the point of the game, Jebel's far more insane than even Chris is. Clearly, Jebel is a dark part of Chris's mind. At least, that's the way I see it. Chris is the misunderstood person who tends to develop more of a violent nature towards the end of the game. And when it comes down to Jebel, I think he's more along the lines of Chris's violent side. But let's talk about the character itself as opposed to it being an imagination of another character. Jebel's whole thing is that he tells you to come back once everything's done. A bonus end boss clearly put in there for Toby Fox's good graces. Here's the thing. He's the first monster that legitimately wants to kill you other than the Chaos King. The difference is the Chaos King has a reason. You are the Lighteners and the One Darkener who will bring light to this realm of darkness, and he doesn't like that. Jebel wants to play a game. Jebel wants to play a game as to who loses, whoever if you die, you lose. He's the kind of guy who really tests you because you have to tire him out and use the... in order to... oh jeez, I can't... His battle is so long! His battle is so long. It is so hard to not murder this guy. He is a true testament for anybody doing a pacifist run. In fact, I challenge anybody out there who played Deltarune and didn't go back to fight Jebel to go back and fight Jebel. Right now. Just boot up Deltarune, accept the consequences, load that save, and go back and fight Jebel. Jebel is one hell of a trip, and he definitely deserves the number 3 spot on this Psychopaths list. Yeah, I kind of have a respect for this character too, that's why I didn't draw him, and I have a respect for the number 1 spot too, so you're not going to see any of that art. Krieg. Oh boy, let me tell you. When the Psycho Pack was announced, people lost it. Krieg is one of those psychopaths that deserves the title of Psycho because of all the hell he's been through. For all we know, he's just been experimented on through slag testing. There's a theory that he's Tiny Tina's dad and he survived while his mom didn't. There's a theory that the voice inside his head is his wife. It's just that she can only communicate using his voice because it's his head, and that's how she remembered him. Honestly, when it comes down to it, Krieg the Psycho is one hell of a trip, and he deserves the number 2 spot on this list. What else to say but...
I fear no man, but that thing. It scares me.
On this list, we've seen several different people. People we can identify. People we can understand as to why they went psychotic. People who just enjoy causing pain.
No, I ain't talking about that freak, alright? He's not here, is he? How do I get this fucking thing off?
It makes their mind at ease. But there's one person we don't know.
One shudders to imagine what inhuman thoughts lie behind that mask. One dreams of chronic and sustained cruelty.
We only know what he likes. Fire. But who can blame him? Something so beautiful and precious, all preserved in one little entity. And before you know it, it's gone. The Pyro is the number 1 psychopath of all time because nobody knows what he is. Man, woman, from Mexico, from Europe, from Germany, or all the way from the Philippines, or from down home in America. Nobody knows. Not even Manco. All they know is that if you put this man in a place, fire will follow. And that is why the Pyro is number 1 on this list. Because he and I share a love that very few can appreciate. Just to clarify, I'm not a pyromaniac. I'm just a pyromane, okay? Just to, like, I like watching a campfire. I like watching a fireplace. And that, my friends, is my top 10 video game psychopaths list. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you disagree, leave a comment below. I'm always looking forward to other suggestions because all of these lists, they can be subject to change. For more what-ifs in the realm of video gaming, Dragon Ball alike, and StevDeS rants like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. Fire. Oh.